Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It is June the 14th today, and we're looking at Job chapter 10. Job is continuing to answer the previous comforter, so-called, that's come to him and accused him of sin. He says, "My soul is weary of life." You know, this is a big book. I hope that in the reading of this book you don't say that yourself. He says, "My soul is weary of life." You see, Job was tired. He was tired of the pain. He was tired of the extreme discomfort. He'd got to the point where he just wanted his life to end. "I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul." You see, we cannot deny the nagging pain in our side. We cannot deny pain. "I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me." You see, Job also, he takes the same theology as those who come to comfort him. He thinks that the things that have happened to him must be because he sinned. He says, "It is good unto thee that thou shouldst oppress, and that thou shouldst despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked. Hast thou eyes of flesh? Do you see like a man sees? Are your days like the days of a man? Are your years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and search out my sin? You know that I am not wicked. There is none that can deliver me out of your hand." You see, this is a man struggling. He knows that he has served God faithfully. He knows that he has not committed a sin that's brought about this terrible calamity in his life. And he's struggling to understand it. He's struggling to understand it. It's in the very nature of a man to question why. Verse 8, "Thine hands have made me, and fashioned me together round about, yet thou hast not destroyed me. Remember, I beseech me, that thou hast made me as clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again?" You made me. You made me from clay. Are you going to destroy me and turn to dust again? "Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese? Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh. You fenced me with bones and sinews. Thou hast granted me life and favour. Thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. And these things hast thou hid in thine heart. I know that this is with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from my iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me. If I be wicked, woe unto me. And if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion. Therefore see thou mine affliction, for it increases." You see, he says, look, if I was wicked, then woe is me. But if I'm righteous, yet I will not lift up my head. I am full of confusion. I don't understand, God. I don't understand why I've lived a righteous life before you, and that as far as I'm currently aware, there's no sin outstanding against you, and yet I come into suffering. You see, this is the theology of a man outside of grace. God deals with men outside of grace according to their life. If they serve him, he blesses them. And if they forsake him, he curses them. "But," says Job, "I don't understand. I have served you. Why am I cursed?" He says, you hunt me like a lion, and again you show thyself marvellous upon me. Thou renewest thy witness against me, and increaseth thy indignation upon me. Changes and war are against me. Therefore then hast thou brought me forth out of the womb. He says, why did you make me to live? Why was I born? If only I'd given up the ghost and no man had ever seen me, then I would have gone from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? So cease then. Leave me alone, that I may have a little comfort. Behold, I go whence I shall not return. He says, I'm going to the grave. I'm not going to be coming back from the grave. Even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and as the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Now, lots of cults seize on this and say, oh, there you are, I say death is the end. No, he isn't saying death is the end. What he's saying is that as far as mortal man is concerned, death is the end. You see, we live our lives in the sunshine, but we're all going towards the land of darkness, and the darkness of the grave is great darkness. But of course Job believed in the resurrection of the dead. Of course he did. He believed in another life. He believed in the life to come. He believed in the world to come. But he'll talk about that later. Then in chapter 11, Zophar accuses Job of sin again. He says this. He said, should not the multitude of words be answered, and should not a man full of talk be justified? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? He says, Job, you're telling untruths here. Does that mean that we're all got to be quiet? When you mock, shall no man be ashamed? Because you say of yourself, my doctrine is pure. I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak. If only God would speak to you. God exacteth of thee less than thy iniquity deserveth. Canst thou by searching find out God? Can you find out the Almighty to perfection? In other words, can you fully understand God? He is higher than the heaven. He is deeper than hell. The measure of him is longer than the earth, broader than the sea. If he cuts off a man and shuts up or gathers, who's going to stop him? A vain man would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt. You know, if you prepare your heart and stretch out your hands towards him, if iniquity is in your hand, then put it away, and let not wickedness dwell in your tabernacles. And thine age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth. Thou shalt be as the morning. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. You will lie down. None will make you afraid. Yea, many will suit upon you, but the eyes of the wicked will fail, and they will not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. You know, this could be the preaching of a modern day faith healer. It could. He's saying, look, come to the Lord. He'll heal you. He'll heal you. It'll all be right if you come to him. He'll give you everything your heart desires. He'll give you safety. He will give you blessing. He'll make everything well again. Everything will be fine when you trust in him. The trouble is, that's not how it is at all. Let's see what Job says in response in chapter 12. Job says, no doubt you are the people. No doubt you are the only people that have wisdom, and that when you die, all wisdom will perish with you. But I have understanding too, you know. I am not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such things as these? Everybody knows the things that you're saying. Everybody knows this. What you're saying is not new, you know. He says, I am like one mocked by my neighbour, who calls upon God, and he answers him, and the upright man is laughed to scorn. He that is ready to slip with his feet is like a lamp, despised in the thought of him that is in ease. It's very easy for you, he says. It's easy for you. You're not going through this. It's easy for you to laugh. He says the tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. But ask the beasts, and they will teach you. Ask the donkey, ask the cow, they'll teach you. Ask the fowls of the air, they will tell you. Speak to the earth, it will teach you. The fishes of the sea will explain this to you. The fishes of the sea will declare it unto thee. Who knoweth not that in all these things the hand of the Lord hath wrought this? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind. Doth not the ears try words? Doesn't the mouth taste meat? My password is in verse 12 and 13. With the ancient is wisdom, and in lengthening of days is understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Verse 14, behold, he breaketh down, and he cannot be built. You see, in the next few verses, what Job is going to do, he's going to describe God. To the best of his understanding and knowledge, he's going to describe God. And I think it's 14, 15 things he says in his description. He says, he breaketh down and it cannot be built. When God destroys something, it can't be built. And he is the one who shuts a man up. And when God shuts a man up, it can't be opened. He withholds the waters and they dry up. And he sends out the floods on the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. And the deceived and the deceiver, well, they're both his. You see, those who deceive and those that are deceived, they both belong to him. He leadeth counsellors away spoiled. He makes judges fools. You see, it is God who does these. These people that have great wisdom, God spoils them. Those that are the judges of men, the men that we look to as to be the very quintessence of wisdom, they're the one that God makes into fools. He looseth the bond of kings. He girds their loins with a girdle. He leads princes away spoiled. He overthrows the mighty. He removes away the speech of the trusty. He takes away the understanding of the aged. He pours contempt upon princes. He weakens the strength of the mighty. He increases nations, and he destroys them as well. He enlarges nations, and he narrows them as well. He takes away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth, and causes them to wander in a wilderness where there is no path. They grope in the dark without light, and he makes them to stagger like a drunken man. Job does understand God, doesn't he? He understands God. He understands God only too well. It isn't just Job's comforters that understand a few things. Job understands a few things as well. So what an amazing journey this is going to be as we go through Job. It's a book that I hope doesn't weary you to death. But it is the discussions that go on in the heart of a man as he tries to make sense of his life here on earth, and in particular he tries to make sense of his life in relation to God, and he tries to make sense of pain and suffering. Well, God bless you. I wish you every blessing for the day, and look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.